Charlie, or CheesyGMing as the GM for this adventure. And with me, as always, are my 4 fantastic friends and players. Say hi, everyone.
It is me, Faye, playing once again Cal, lovely rogue who's currently deciding if she should throw daggers or not at a certain someone.
Hello. I am Sylvia, and I'm playing Zora, our witch, or also for her full name, Zoraelia Valdrea.
Hello, I'm Bardi. I'm playing Oleksii, who is still surprised that talking to water worked.
And I'm Christoph. I'll be playing Wind, and I'm extremely intimidated by a buff elf that just appeared.
Let's keep that no context to the conversation before.
Yes.
I love it. Please do. Yes, our elf buff elf that is in front of us. As it's a bad segue, I'm sorry. As last we left off, our party found some useful items, including a way to bring Fox to their side, a shrinking potion. After seeking a little bit more, the party found a trapped chamber filled with skeletons, and some more doors and corridors, as well as a lit-up statue. As the group examined their next steps, they have found that the statue was hiding in place for a spirit while Yoti connected to the waters, learning that only way is through, not out, and that the first sacrifice is seeking help. After clearing some more undead wanderers, Zora spoke to the statue and hopes to calm the spirit and get their sense of trust. And after promising to the spirit that the group isn't going to harm them, they left the statue to reveal themselves. A young... my recap says thin wood elf, but I guess now it's a buff wood elf with green hair. None other than Blake Greenleaf. You see this clearly kind of timid face leaves the statue and shyly waves to you, unbelievably different from the Blake Greenleaf you have met so far. Hey.
Please don't attack us.
I won't. He looks a little confused as you say that.
Insight check.
Give me a perception roll. Honestly, with the amount of times that Blake Greenleaf can stab you in the back here, that makes sense.
Yes.
He says he's surprised for you saying please don't attack us. And you feel that surprise is genuine, but you're not fully certain if it's like, is he surprised because we're on a truce, or is he surprised because he expected something else to happen?
I mean, to be fair, the party heard me promise to the statue that we won't attack. And
Sure.
I guess Zora might even say, like, Cal, put away the daggers, without even, like, turning around.
I'm just... Cal's basically like in those westerns when the people about to duel have their hands super close to their revolvers. That's basically on the daggers. Like, not yet touching, but like, I'm not touching them yet.
Cal's the quickest draw in the West.
I mean, I do have quick draw.
That was... I didn't remember that, but I'm gonna take a pun point for that. It gives me nothing except for saying, got it.
Dun, dun, dun.
Forgive our reaction, but we have probably encountered a copy of you. You don't seem to recognize us.
I do not.
Can I get an insight roll on, like, him being familiar with us? Like, is it this being
Yeah,
like the first
absolutely.
time that he's seeing us? Is he genuine?
You can all give me your like insight rolls if you're trying to figure out, is this another trick or not?
Yes.
Zora, you are positive this person does not recognize you. Never seen you before in his life, doesn't know who you are. You are a complete stranger. Yoti, you are 100% certain. There is a small smile at the edge of his mouth as you get the sense that Nope, this is another one of those tricks. You have had so many of them before. You caught it this time. Cal, you have no idea.
Amazing.
Yep. Love blind rolls. So fun.
Okay. So in this game of social deduction, we have words of Blake, not Blake. We have the fact that he hid inside the statue, and he's probably on the older side, maybe, if it was before. And we have knowledge of the first sacrifice. So what Yoti right now has is just a lot of different kinds of confusion. So would it be too much to ask the water for clarification? Is this the first sacrifice, or is this some piece of shit?
Oh, why did I tell you to roll for that last time?
It
it
was
survival?
nature.
Give me a nature roll. You're
Okay.
trying to see, like, I have information that goes both ways. Give me an arrow kind of thing. Also, this, like, spirit looks fairly young, elf. He does not look old at all.
But does he look the same age as the Blake we encountered earlier?
Yes, but also that Blake also looked fairly young.
Yeah.
But yes, it is an exact look. Like, it looks exactly the same.
Okay.
You have had contradicting information. This is a fake. This is something else. This is a real. You are not quite certain. You go to your base lane. You ask the water, is this another trick? Or am I just like, did I read the room wrong? You recall what you have heard moments ago. The last sacrifice looks for your help. And as you kind of look towards the water, there is a ripple coming out of all of your legs, but it always looks as if it's going only into one direction. Even though you're walking, the water ripples towards the spirit that stands in front of you. You get the sense that the water is telling you, you might have read the room wrong. This is what you need to help. This is who you need to find.
Okay, I guess Yoti trusts water more than she does it herself, so
Checks out.
she's still suspicious and on edge, but as Kenneth says, she's never without a weapon.
True enough.
I think we're all on edge just of the face, given the face we are facing.
Yeah. So as basically you asked, does he recognize you? And he said, I've never seen you before in my life, as he was about to continue and say, I see. The shrew is still using my face, isn't she?
The shrew?
The hag. It's just one of many. A shrew is an older word, but I'm assuming you're a lot younger than I am. You probably use the new words.
We thought there's 3 of them.
There are.
Okay.
One who keeps the house, one who finds the beast that will kill the adventurers, and one who finds the adventurers to send to the beast.
Like, what kind of beast? Like, are we talking metaphorically, literally?
It changes, I believe. Beasts don't live as long as they do, but... In my time, they brought a type of, 5-headed monster to battle against, and when that didn't go well, I ended up here. I'm assuming that beast does not live anymore.
At least not what we've encountered.
It's been a while, I would assume. But you didn't come here from the regular entrance. You come, and he like looks for what the door you guys came from. How did you come from the sacrifice room without being brought here?
Well, there was a hole in the ceiling, kind of.
we were locked in a storage room to be the next sacrifices, but had figured out a way, and that was the only way out. So, yeah, here we are.
So you're telling me you have not been in the ritual yet? Because they didn't come here and bring you. You got here on your own.
Well,
Yeah.
here in this room, yes. To this whole place, we kind of were forced to come.
No, that's brilliant. There's a way out of here. The way they usually come in. You can leave.
So you know the way out.
I don't really venture there. It's a bit dangerous, but I also can't leave anyway, so, you know. Don't really have a
Dangerous,
reason
why?
to. But they never left this place unattended. They don't come here often because they don't need to. They come here every, I guess, 50, 60 years. Maybe a bit more. But they have their own pets spread around the chambers. They have the spirits of the tormented that they just keep around for the sake of the next person that might arrive here and try to get a run for it. But if you got here, you might be able to get out of here. That means you might not have to be sacrificed.
Yeah, but you know, we're kind of in the habit of, and at least some of us, the habit of being heroic. And yes, the people in the village did a bad thing, but they're victims of their circumstances. So we kind of, you know, I would feel bad if I don't get rid of, you know, the hags.
I mean, if you're very much up to it, you can always leave this place and go confront them in their own home. It's right outside the door. You can also just decide to run and give yourself another day. Heck, I know from experience how bad things can go when you try to face them.
Did you try to face them?
I did. Well, I don't know how long you have, and you have time to listen to a tale of an old spirit, but if you'd like to. I don't get to talk to the visitor many times.
I mean, if we could keep it under 9 minutes, would be great.
And it might even be of help to us if we do end up facing them, whether voluntary or not.
What's your time limit?
9 minutes.
Yeah, no, why?
Oh, my elk will then turn big again and we can't get him out of the room.
Oh, every door from here to the exit is big. You should be fine.
Okay.
I was gonna ask, which way is the exit?
Oh, up. And he points towards where you blocked the ice. Continue from there. But there are a couple of rooms in the way and some creatures that will definitely not gonna try to let you go without, trying to stop you from doing that.
Right, we heard weird sounds from up there.
I can't tell you exactly what is in each room. I am kind of stuck in this area, or more so, and he points toward where you came from. There, I'm kind of at the edge limit, but I got tired of watching the spirits, not the spirits, the undead walking and bumping into walls. I moved a little bit away. Anyway, you know my face. I wonder if she still uses my name.
Yes, she did.
Of course she does. I was one of the founders of a small town called Zakrotska. It's been hundreds of years by now. I don't really get to count all that, but it's been a while. And at some point, we had a group of people coming over. 3 of them asking for help because they're trying to cross through the forest, trying to get to their own hometown, but there's something blocking the way for them. A monster. And they asked for someone to help them kill the monster. I went myself with 2 of my friends, and we found it. It was a massive beast with 5 heads, not something normal at all. I am not the, most knowledgeable person. I can't exactly tell you what it was, but it wasn't easy to deal with. We did eventually defeat it, but one of my pals died in the way. And when we came back to the women, they have mentioned the fact that it wasn't good enough. And we were confused about it until they grabbed the body of my fallen friend and made a run for it. So, realizing that something was not okay, we spoke about it in the village, and we decided to follow and pursue and figure out what's going on, because something has been odd. I went alone, which was not the good idea. I followed up, got to this bizarre statue, a couple of statues that we had to cross through, and it led me to this mountaintop, but it had a weird smell to it, as if sweetness, the more I got closer to it. Ended up going all the way up and knocking on a small house that seemed to be made of candy. Or breadcrumbs and cake. Truly something out of this world. And they opened the door. And they looked completely different. Each of them looked old, shriveled. And each of them with different colored eyes. It did not end so well for me. I don't think you want the details of the sacrifice, but I can assure you I remember it fully. That was not pleasant. My friend who had already died was not a good option, since the life has left them, and it wasn't killed by the hags. They took me down here, performed the ritual. Obviously, I could not move during the ritual nor protect myself, and I never got to see my family again. I don't know what's going on with them. It's been hundreds of years. I have not seen my wife. I have not seen my child, nor my grandchild, who was just born. Called him Flynn. Hoped he's gonna be a strong one. Do you know Flynn? In Zakotska?
He's been forced to play as your grandfather.
He goes silent. There is no end to what they will do, is there? He looks up and says, I changed my mind. As much as I want you to leave here and go free, and he looks towards Cal, I would like even more to ask you upon your word and kill them. Please. They have taken everything they can from me and my bloodline. They have left nothing behind to grasp in. Please kill them.
Yes, we have no other choice now. We have no other choice. Now been officially asked. Sure. So they're somewhere outside?
Wait,
Yes.
can we take this maybe a bit slower? So we just want to walk up to 3 century-old hags and be like, hey, we will kill you now. Please die.
I mean, I think they might be weak now because they need new sacrifices. So, maybe it's a good time.
Strong enough to kill Blake in his prime.
Maybe they need to
Yeah, but-
collect power in order to sacrifice, so they're now the most powerful.
Nah, probably directly after sacrifice, they're like super strong. And also, I mean, no offense, Blake, but I mean, yeah, Blake. Look at us. Look at Blake.
You seem stronger than I am. And I was alone.
See, he agrees with me.
Do you think
If
it'd be
nothing but this is the only clue that this is actually a different person.
true? Do you think it, or I'm asking Blake, do you think it'd be a bad idea to fight them in their own home?
Well, I know it was a bad idea for me, but as mentioned, not as strong as you and also alone. I didn't feel like being in their home made them stronger. It was being together that did. They could bond with another and reach into
So-
magic that it seems like they didn't have access to on their own.
Then we should try to split them up.
Probably.
If they are coming to check on us, maybe one of them comes alone and we could ambush her.
You might be able to. Though if you are meaning to go back to where you came from, and now he looks at Fox as like, you're probably going to have to do it very quickly if you want to go back through the hole.
I mean, we could always lie in wait outside the storage room.
Oh, that's also true. That's correct. Though the main door here would lead you just to the bottom of the staircase that goes up to their house. Which is why I said you can run away if you would like to, but...
Right, to get to the
I'm
storage
glad-
room, we'd have to go past their house, right? If I remember
The
correctly?
storage room would be...
Like-
No, the storage room would actually be on the other side. Like, you will go out from the crevice, like from the door here. You will have a left to her... Not exactly like a direction, but like it's basically a left to go up towards their house, a right to go a little back into the storage room and away. So either you go towards the storage room, and you don't have to cross their house to get to the storage room, essentially.
Even if we're, like, outside, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's... Yeah, I just remember from the description, like you said, we saw the house when we were brought to the storage room,
Exactly.
so we should be able to, like, basically wait around there and hide, technically.
Yes. You could see the climb to the house, which means they might have a vantage point coming from above, but you will be able to, like, go towards the storage without going next to the house, yes.
All right, thanks for the clarification.
If you have any more questions or anything you would like to know, I will be glad to let you know. But that depends on you, and I don't believe I have a valid source of information after being here so many years. I probably do not know how they work at the moment and stuff like that. I can tell you about previous sacrifices if you're interested, but that's not a fun
Were
story
you
to hear
the
about.
first?
I was. As
And
far
this
as I'm
book?
aware.
Does it have all the names, or...?
That is the Book of Names, yes. That would be the documentation of every sacrifice they ever successfully made.
I guess at his words, I flipped through the pages just to see how many sacrifices there are.
There are pages over pages of this. Blake has mentioned that it's been hundreds of years.
Right,
doesn't
and he
know
said every
exactly the amount
50
of time.
years.
Every 50 years.
Or
And
so.
it seems like it's not one sacrifice every couple of years. It's about every 50 years or so. Sometimes it seems like there are probably more or less, like every 20 years and then every 70 years. It seems like it depends on what and who they sacrifice. The stronger their sacrifice, the longer they can go without it. So there are a lot of times of like, oh, we had to sacrifice small fries. It was 10 years and then more 10 years and more 10 years. There are many names in that book. But if you
Can
flip
I
over all the way to the
Make
first
out
page...
from the writing from like the last page when the last sacrifice was.
I'm gonna say yeah. Let's go with. I think society would
Or
be
just
fitting for this,
roughly,
'cause you're
right?
trying to, like, yeah. I think if you're trying to like figure out kind of ink passage on time, society would be fitting, because it's like languages and writing and stuff like that. You look over the book at like the last page that has been written. There are 3 names in the last page that like you can separate the ink of like, oh, this is the last 3 that were written at the same time. You get a sense that it's about 15 years from the last time. So the last sacrifice was not very strong.
So that might benefit us, maybe, hopefully.
Could be. And if you would also flip all the way to the first page, you would see that the first name is Blake Greenleaf. Yes.
I assume so.
So yeah, you speak to Blake a little bit, and he tells you about his past, about what's going on here. He tells you that there are more creatures deeper within. But you are still surrounded by a couple of doors. You can fully just ignore them and go out to the exit, but there are a couple of doors around you as well that you have kind of ignored so far.
Considering the fact that there were things in the previous room, like the shrink potion for Fox, it might help in the battle with these ancient entities.
I mean,
So
that's
we're
also
set
the
on
thing.
just fighting ancient creatures who murdered over centuries a lot of adventurers.
I mean, yeah, and they seem to be pretty forgetful to like just drop things somewhere, so there's a good chance there's something. I mean, they're old.
No, if
No
I'm the
wonder.
only one who is super concerned about this plan, then, it's fine, I guess.
Hey, wait. No, we got this. You have to believe in it. Because what else is there? Like, sitting in a corner and crying about the state of everything and just running away?
I do that sometimes.
I mean, it's cathartic, don't worry, but running, like, nah, come. We can take them. Like, we got this. Look at how much things we have already gotten done. And, nobody died. So
Yeah, some
everything's fine.
brainless undead
No, it wasn't just
versus
those.
ancient evil witches who can
No.
spellcast.
There were the
Excuse me, they're not
mushrooms.
witches, they're hags.
Exactly.
Don't offend Zora.
Very,
Sorry.
very
Sorry.
important distinction.
You know,
Also-
there's one point, and it's that they still need a monster.
Exactly, they
They don't just go on their own to kill the adventurers. They need a monster to do that for them. And this monster we killed. So it does sound like we could have a chance.
Oh, I
You see
don't like
Blake
it.
kind of like raising his hand a little bit to chime in for that. They don't necessarily need the monster. They use the monster because it's more time efficient. They just send the adventurers there, they connect to the death of the adventurers, the monster, and they suck the life from that. But if the monster does not succeed, like with you, they will try to go to phase 2, which is actually sacrificing you physically. They can do both.
and I mean the monster did weaken us.
See? They will catch us, kill us.
They consider it beneath them to do the sacrifice, so they let the monster do it for them, but they will do it if you prove that you're stronger than the monster.
Well, then we have to be stronger than them. We shouldn't underestimate them. That is true, and I get your concern, Wind. But if we don't do it, then there will be more sacrifices, and I'm not even sure if we get far enough away or if they'll just stab us in the back after they hunt us down. And I think right now we have one of the best chances because we're not sure where they are, but they also don't know that we are out yet, so we could have the element of surprise here.
Exactly, because in simple terms, offense is the best defense.
That's not
We want to
work
be
this way.
safe, so we, get rid of them. But we really should, I really think we should look at, these rooms here and maybe, there's some other cool stuff there. Maybe.
Let's look at the
Cool
loot
bomb.
and then maybe talk about killing ancient hags that sacrifice a lot of people another time.
Yeah.
I guess we talked
I-
about the way out. Is there anything like traps or beasts in these other rooms that you would know of?
Yeah, I know about these rooms because I do hang around here quite often. Miss, and he points towards Cal. I don't believe none of you have actually mentioned your names. you've only spoken to each other, but
Sorry.
what is your name?
We knew your name from her copy, but I am Zora.
Yes. Pleasure. Who's this little guy? He points at Starless.
Oh, Stylist. That's my familiar.
Oh, fancy. And your name is Yoti, I heard?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Carl. Kalara,
Carl.
but Carl just... And... this is... Points to Wind, just...
Introduce
yourself.
I'm Wind. Hello. That's Fox. He's usually big, but
Fox.
now he's small.
Yes, you have mentioned. Cal, the door next to you. That's actually... I wouldn't open that door. There is one of the unpleasant undead just sleeping in one of the coffins inside. But unless you're really determined to release him, the door is locked, so it never found a way to get outside of this chamber, so it just stays inside. From the door next to you, Miss Yoti, I have never actually heard any noise, so I don't think there's anything inside it. And then there's the door that you passed next to. I actually am very familiar with what's inside it. There is a fireplace in the center of this chamber. You can see it sometimes lighting under the door, and it laughs sometimes. I guess it's a laughing fireplace or something living in the fireplace inside it. Yeah, beyond that I will be not fully familiar, because anything beyond those doors is not something I've ventured next to.
Do I know a creature that would be laughing inside a fireplace?
Let's see. I think we're gonna go I'm gonna say
It seems
Arcana would be maybe
specific.
relevant.
Not
you're
occultism?
anything specific or sorry, sadly no. I think it's gonna be nature or Arcana, because fire is either magical way or more primal way, which is usually nature. I'm gonna say nature or Arcana would be good here. Maybe even crafting if you would like.
I'm gonna do nature, because if I get a fail, I can reroll with occultism. And that's a
Interesting.
workaround or something.
That is a good workaround. You do fail, so you can try again with occultism. Cheat sheets. Even with occultism, it can be a million things. It can be a fire elemental, it can be a living flame, it can be a wisp, it can be a lot of things that has fire traits and visuality, but also has some kind of mentality to laugh from it. So you're not completely aimed for something specific, but you do completely rule out some other things, as you do not think it's going to be anything that's specifically undead, for example, as undead are not completely known to being laughing. However, the way Blake described it as flame that laughed, it does sound from how he said it's alone in the chamber. It might not be something that's laughing knowledgely. So I think you don't know what this is, but you get a sense that it might be something that's mindless, as it's just laughing without any context to it.
Right. So, I guess I turn a bit away from Blake, not to be rude, but more so to face my fellow adventurers. Nothing against you, Blake, but if we do trust him, I guess that would mean more fights, which we could avoid. But we might miss out on treasure. So...
I mean, treasure is good.
Treasure. Maybe we find a pot of gold. Do you know how valuable that would be? I could spend so much time in the tavern.
I mean, depends on
and I
how
could
big the pot
probably-
is.
Oh, I would make it bigger. Don't worry.
Oh, okay.
I would multiply it at least 10 times, easily. Just give me a couple nights.
Why do I doubt that?
Miss Cal, I've got to ask, if you are able to so easily multiply money, why are you still searching for it while adventuring?
Well, you have to have money to multiply it, okay? And sometimes
So
I
this
run
is the
out of
first
money
time.
for other reasons, okay?
Okay.
Right.
You know, sometimes I forget that I should be multiplying it in between, okay? It happens.
Forgetting is what that's called nowadays. Okay.
It might be called being drunk. It's fine. So, again, there could be a pot of gold. We should really check it out.
Yotzi looks at Zora and asks, "Hey, so, are you the only reason why Mescal is still alive?"
She's surprisingly lucky in her way of living, even if she spends the nights gambling some of her money away.
Interesting. Selective luck. Nature does work in mysterious ways.
Beautiful. So yeah,
Really
you
mysterious.
stepped aside a little from Blake to like give yourself some time to talk among yourself. It does not seem like it offends him at all. He moves away to let you have your conversation time.
He's so much nicer than the copy, Blake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
very
he's
suspicious.
pretending, but like so far.
Makes it so much sadder to know what she made out of him.
Right. But yeah, like any fight we will have is like fights that the hags could come here and notice that we're missing. Or
I mean-
time.
But do you think they would all come as free, or maybe one person bringing us over, or what? You know, I don't know.
I mean, they did
Maybe we
not.
get lucky.
They did not incapacitate us. They did not take our weapons away in any way, shape, or form. I feel like if they get us, they'll come as 3.
I mean, they are currently thinking we are stuck in a room, maybe crying in a corner. You know,
Fair enough.
maybe they're putting like a big spell on like the room again for, you know, like throwing in like a sleeping bomb. And then it's like for nothing. And then they're going to be searching in panic. Everyone split up because, you know.
Right. Actually, like when fake Blake brought us to the room, didn't you two say that the copy was like incorporeal? Like it wasn't just like a face change, it was an illusion?
Not
Yeah,
sure if
like illusion
illusion is the
projection,
right
something
word.
similar.
Projection, I feel like, is more
But
of a
They
better
could
description.
affect things, right?
Yeah.
So it's a weird middle ground of like things go through them, but they could also affect things.
Possible?
Like, what are the effects from, like, I guess, asking GM, like, they, like, catching the arrow and things was no problem, right? Like, we could physically... Did we ever try physically interacting? Or, like, touch
We
them?
did not.
But we
once.
saw him get the poison from the spider.
Right,
You
the
did not see him. You rolled a
spider.
perception for that, and none of you saw them.
I mean, we saw
You
the
saw him
spider
shooting
being shot
the
by the arrow. So,
Yes.
like,
Yes,
we
you
saw
saw-
the spider, right? So,
Yeah.
Whoever that copy was able to affect the spider.
Exactly. You've never actually interacted to see if you can interact with the body of Blake, like fake Blake. But you have seen them doing things that does seem
Effect.
to see like they need to be physically there. Like shooting an arrow at you generally with the spider would probably need them to be there. But you've never actually interacted with them to see if you can actually touch them, for example.
Yeah.
But
Just-
we walked on snow, so
Right, they had footprints, right?
You did see footprints. I believe one of you have asked about it before. You did see footprints.
Yeah, when we... it could have been faked. Like, I rolled a survival check to see if anyone traversed the road we went to get to the cave.
Yep.
And there we saw, like, signs that he made that...
Yeah, I'm
The way to
mostly
the cave many
trying
times.
to figure out, like, if we do see like a copy or like projection again, how we would get around that basically. But I guess there's
I think-
no point in guessing. So
Let me do a GM suggestion then. You know you're dealing with hags. would any of you would like to recall knowledge about hags?
Oh yeah.
Yes. Right, we can do that.
You can do that. Hags is going to be a society role, since hags are a type of humanoid.
Wow, I'm going to be really good at it.
Who's folktale lore help?
That
I'm
sounds
going
like
to say
it
you
should
can
help.
use folktale lore, yes.
And I have dubious knowledge on it.
Zora, you focus as far as you can. You are uncertain about how hags function generally. Hags are extremely different from witches, and you have lived most of your life learning the ways of the witch, which are always been told it's not how hags do that, but never have been told how hags do things. Cal and Yoti, you both come to the similar conclusion. Hags should not have the option of projecting themselves. However, they do have some, depending on what kind of hag you're dealing with, they will have different kinds of spells. And the thing that Blake has mentioned about hags being stronger when they're with their friends is true, as hags go in covens, meaning when there are 3 of them usually, they will have access to some spells that they will not usually have access towards. That is information that both of you know. Yoti, in addition to that, you remember something that many hags can do, and it fits very well here. Many hags, if not most hags, have spells to create disguises and illusions on themselves, which means it's actually more likely that Blake has always actually, not Blake, well, fake Blake, has always actually physically been there, but created an illusion of themselves to make them look ethereal and make them look as if they are not physically there, to make you think they are not physically there. Because, I've mentioned, none of you tried to interact with them physically. You get a sense that that's the direction you're actually thinking of. It's not that they have been projecting themselves. It's they try to make themselves look as if they are not physically corporeal there, which is a risky move if someone tries to touch you. But it seems to have worked many times before, and this time as well.
Parts of my brain thinks maybe it's just that the hags are smaller and Blake is so big that some parts of their illusions are just so far away that it's just not a disguise anymore, but just illusion on top of the body. But yeah.
As in, like, they're the tiniest grandmas?
Yeah.
And just like punished over this small that it's like, yeah, even the twink can cover the whole body.
And it's not just twink, it's an elven twink.
Even worse.
I thought we settled on the fact that he's a buff elf. I don't know what you're talking about.
Some
Buff
of
is
us
elf
think
alive.
that's buff, and some of us have said he's a twink.
I feel like for Wind, everyone is buff.
He's the
I'm
strongest
sorry.
in this group.
Yes,
He's the
exactly the
buffest.
same.
Yes,
Like-
but I'm very small, you know?
Yes, but I'm imagining Wind as being small, but just like if you would put him on a scale, he would be so heavy due to his muscles. Where it's like, holy damn, what do you pack in this like tiny body?
Yeah,
No,
just
it's
to make
just
sure you
magic.
remember, Wind, you have more strength than your mount.
Yeah, but my mount is tiny.
I think it did
But
normal
Usually
On
size,
a
right?
regular day.
Oh, okay.
Stop deflecting.
Take the compliment, Wind, take the compliment.
You're
Got
strong.
It's just like some sprite magic going on.
Men literally do anything except for going to therapy. So yeah, you have generally a little layout of where you are currently, and you have now a little more established understanding as to what was the whole translucent thing, which actually works for your advantage. That does mean that an illusion is still an illusion. It means they are still physically there, which means they are hittable.
Means I can cut them. Yes.
Means I should have
pieces.
attacked them when they escorted us.
The past is the past.
I was not. Yeah,
Awake.
I have been sleeping the whole time, so you could have woke me up. So I think I have no fault at all in
True.
this.
How about we attack some other things first?
Yes.
You want to check the rooms?
Excited, yes.
Wind like stir.
So,
Let's go.
so yeah, we have a door beneath Cal, which has been told you it's locked and there's an undead sleeping inside it, and that's it. There's a door above you next to Yoti, which has been said there's no noise coming from it, so as far as Blake considers there's nothing inside it. And there's a door where there's a laughing fire that, with Zora's recall knowledge, you assume it's a mindless thing that lays inside it.
So
Fire seems
we
to be
could-
an easy target for a water kineticist.
That's true.
Don't know.
But I mean,
Might
also
be a
maybe
demon
it's
and not be weak to water and I don't know.
Also, I
monster
mean,
types.
if there's a quiet room, it can also quickly take a
Quiet
dip.
room sounds like the easiest choice for now.
Mhm. That's smart.
Oh, I just realized I need to heal a bit. So while we were talking, I
yes.
would have cast the Ocean's Balm on myself.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I would get to work on the door, see if this one's trapped, if it's open, if it's locked.
Ooh.
The usual.
Give me a perception roll, please. For the huge.
Wait, I get. Oh my god, I forgot. I get weird bonuses to these things.
I do think you have spent more than 10 minutes though, so I'm removing the shrink from Fox. As you have been told, all of the doors from here are large enough for Fox to go through.
Hey, Fox is back. Let's go.
You hear
I
a
miss
little, like,
Tiny Fox splashing with fishes.
flapping. Yes, that was very cute. I'm just assuming that the whole conversation you had, it was splashing with fishes, and then
Yeah.
after 10 minutes it just grew big and it got confused.
Yeah, now he's like a wise elk again.
Yes. By the way, still have less strength than you do.
Yeah.
Just checked. Just checked. I did not see. Oh, there it is. Never mind.
Yeah, because I need to check how much, and then I get a +1 for like traps.
You look around the door. You don't see any traps, and it does not seem locked. And this is the one that's also, Blake has said, it's completely silent. So you also don't hear anything on the other side, kind of similar to what he has said.
I mean, I trust myself, so I will definitely open the door.
You open the door, and you see that it leads to a weird T-shaped, like upside-down T-shaped room. Other than some algae and some rocks, and as well as water inside, like once you open the door, some fishes go in. You don't see any creatures inside it. Nothing explodes on you, as there is no trap that you're opening in. But you do see that there's like an edge of this chamber that seems to be like definitely covered with some wood on the bottom. You don't think it's a path, but you think it's someone tried to open a path here and never actually succeeded. Give me a perception roll, however, for the room. You realize very quickly why this is a path that actually never became a path. This looks like someone tried to create a way to go from here and changed their mind and made it into a small, like, inside hidden compartment of the chamber to hide something inside it. As you find a couple of items hidden within it, mostly liquids, or actually, correction, only liquids. But it seems like someone worked hard on hiding those inside this place.
Oh, beautiful. So, when I take a first look at them, do I feel like any of those can be checked? Are they all like of a magical nature, or are some of them maybe just, crafted well?
You take like a big look and a big whiff into the air, and you realize none of them feels magical.
Amazing. Means we can, multiple people of us can check them. But yeah, I'm gonna take them to that. I found some I mean, something to drink. Not yet sure what they do, but maybe something to drink.
You should
Anyone?
each pick one.
Ah.
There are a total of 7 items. 4 that looks the same, 1 that looks different, and then 2 that looks the same. Basically, 1 thing that has 4 of them, 1 thing that you have 1 of, and 1 thing that you have 2 of.
I would just take one. Somebody else.
I can take the one that's like a singular.
And I take the 2 times, and Zara, you take the one that we have 4 times.
To identify?
Yeah.
Sure.
Cal, in the first 10 minutes trying to identify this, you are unable to identify this.
I mean, I can still chug it.
Yep.
No!
Never said you can't. At the same 10 minutes that you're looking at the 4, Yoti, you are looking at the 1. This is something that's called Lady's Blessing Oil. It is generally favored by Pharasmin healers who ease the transition of life. And you can activate the item as part of the same activity as you would use Administer First Aid to stabilize a creature. And if you use the Blessing Oil, the DC to check the Administer First Aid reduces for the recovery roll. Rather than a 5 plus the recovery roll, it just reduces to the recovery roll itself. However, if you roll a failure on the check, you get a critical failure instead. It's risky.
It's nice. It's nice.
That's a fun one.
Always here for the fun ones. That was first 10 minutes.
No, then
Are you
Zara
spending
would have
10 more
tried.
minutes?
I would also
Yes.
spend at least
Would have
try
tried
the
them.
single one.
The single one is what Yoti just found.
I thought she took the 2.
No.
No, she said the one with the quantity of 1.
Oh, whichever is left over, right? Thank you.
Okay, then that's the 2.
Yeah,
This
I
one.
would aid on that.
Absolutely.
Yay.
Yeah.
You're not
11.
hindering with an 11.
True.
I can use my guidance that is not guidance on this, right?
I think you can. Your nudge thingy?
Yeah, it's a skill check, saving throw, attack
Yep.
roll.
Should be able to, yes.
So it's a +1. Well, it's a +1 if I am one of succeeding or critically failing.
You are not in a 1 off to succeed or critically fail, but you are unable to identify this item.
I just shrugged my shoulders and like, eh. I told
Yeah,
you I'm
fair.
not good at crafting.
It was worth a try. I'm also like these 4, not quite sure what I'm smelling. You know. Maybe it's also my nose is still slightly hurt from, the stinky ones. Who knows?
True. Are you taking 10 more minutes to try again, or are we like, hey, let's do that another time, let's actually walk around?
Let's walk around in case we find something else that we also want to identify.
That's fair.
Identifying party.
Ooh, I also still have the unusual eyepiece. Oh no. So many things I missed.
True.
So,
In that
sleeping
case,
undead?
Oh, we're waking the sleeping undead.
It's the closest to
It was
us.
one of the stinky.
to
It
you.
was one of the stinky ones, right?
Is Blake still here?
Blake didn't say which. Blake just moved away because you said you wanted to have some space. He did not approach ever since you like, hey, we want to talk among yourselves. He's just floating around in the other room until he's gonna be called upon. This is where he just chills.
I assumed he'd just go back into statue or something, but he's just there.
He was hiding in the statue from you, so now that you
Fair.
know where he would be,
Must be so
he's
boring.
just- Yes, you are correct.
Hmm.
Plays with the fishes, but he can't touch them because he's a ghost.
No.
That's sad.
That is. I mean, the incorporeal creatures still take damage from physicals. I probably can play a little bit with the fishes.
No.
But yeah, he
only
just
gets
said-
caught by the fishies. Like it's not pleasant.
But he did say that it's there's an undead sticking around. He did not say how what kind of it was.
Is that one of the nasty ones? That I
Yes,
remember.
he said there was a strong undead inside the chamber.
Do you want to fight it?
Hey, Blake. Blake.
Yeah.
Was it
Looks like it was playing with a fish.
Is it like a stinky one in there? Like the ones that just really disgusting, or is it like super
yeah.
fast, or
It's the one that's like, if you stand next to him, they make you nauseous.
oh,
Yeah, it's
Which
not
of the
great.
two earlier enemies was that?
The one that you fought here in the chamber they had like general stinking like vibe, but they didn't affect you physically with that. The ones that had a long tongue had like a smell that was impossible to like ignore.
Yeah, when they
and
approached
that was
us.
terrible.
Mhm.
Yes.
So likely one of those.
Yes.
So
that one was really nasty.
anyone who can stay in distance stays at distance.
I mean, it was also like
So
super
everyone
fast, wasn't
except
it?
me. Yay.
And Fox.
You're
fair
going to be
enough.
protecting
True,
us.
Fox is big again. Wait, but he needs to squeeze through the door, right?
Unless you get the thing out.
And the door is locked, right?
The door is locked, yes. Which is why the
Do we-
creature hasn't left that room so far.
If we're assuming we didn't already wake them, should we try and sneak into the room and like ambush it? It might already be awake, honestly, from all our yapping.
I mean, we can try. I can try to be very, very quiet while opening the door.
Yeah. Usually you're good at it. Please do.
Okay. I'll try to be quiet. Try to be quiet while opening, while, walking on that door. I'm just gonna go down
And you are
there.
all basically organizing. Cal's next to the door, Wind and Fox are right behind her, Yoti as well, and Zora is a bit further away.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Sounds good.
Then the door is locked. It's going to be a thievery roll to open it. And if you want to
I
do it
can-
silently and like stealthily, please give me your stealth before. The thievery is going to be open, the stealth is going to be closed.
Doogly doogly.
Can I aid in thievery?
Absolutely.
I'll do just that. 18, so a +1.
+1. As Cal picks a lock with a 22, you have kind of Yoti aiming you from the back of like, oh, just a little bit to the left kind of thing, as you're both working together towards opening the lock. You're doing it very quietly, and you hear a little ching as you like open the lock, and you know that the door is still closed, but you believe the lock is fully gone.
Beautiful. I would try to so quietly continue and open the door.
Give me nothing, actually. You rolled stealth before. Just open the door.
My
Now
beautiful
describe.
Calliope, can you not go over my keyboard? Thank you very much.
Calliope wants to play. So, you quietly unlock the door. Open the door, and it is extremely quiet. None of you hear the noise of the door opening. And what you see inside the chamber, it's a very small chamber. It's like a 15 on 10 foot chamber. There is one of those creatures that do smell. The moment you open the door, Cal, you are within the range of it. However, being distracted and being here a long time, it is not looking at you, but it's looking at the wall with the back to you. So, I am going to say opening the door, you're doing it stealthily, but you are trying to like bash immediately on this creature. Since the only one is rolling basically stealth is Cal, I'm going to say this. Cal, being a rogue, you have the ability to go before and they like get them off guard to you in initiative. Anyone else who would go before the creature, I'm gonna say they're not like aware of you, but they're not also like, basically they don't attack you just yet, but the moment there's someone who goes after, that will be basically regular initiative. So you can kind of plan what you're doing, but give me your initiatives to see who actually rolls higher and who rolls lower than the creature, Because basically, you guys will go, and it will only, like, start noticing the first time someone attacks it.
And is it gonna be using my already re-rolled stealth, or should I roll another stealth?
I'm gonna say it this way. You don't know how much you rolled for stealth. What do you choose? Do you roll again, or do you use the past one?
I believe in my prior luck.
Prior luck?
Because I was so quiet, so I'm assuming I'm so high.
Your prior luck was good. That is correct. I feel like the dice has spoken very fittingly. Let me move our music to actually some combat music. Let's go with this one. Don't be so loud. As you unlock the door, open the door, and see this creature standing with the face to the wall. Cal, you are immediately within the range of the stench, even if you go before it. So you are immediately affected by the aura the moment you open the door. However, Cal, you also go first. So I'm gonna start with give me a fortitude save. Now, Blake has said there's a strong undead inside it that has been staying there because the door has been locked. This one is a bit more strong than the ones you have fought before.
Okay.
It's a good time to remind you that you all start with a hero point this session. And I don't believe any of you have used them.
Yes. Because it's not a spell out or haunt, right? It's also not that.
No, it is aura and olfactory.
But yeah, I'm gonna. I'd like to not fail.
Not failing is fun.
Wow, it's the exact come on.
It's one above.
It is indeed one above. It is just a fail, not a critical failure, which is pretty good. On a fail, you become sickened 1. Not a critical failure means you are not also slowed. You are sickened, and that's it. But now you get your turn to start with, and it's still with its back to you, as you go before it.
We've established I'm the quickest draw in the West.
Yes, which reminds me, let me just put him off guard, because it is off guard to you specifically. There you go.
Nom 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 nom. So, I will be throwing my dagger at this creature.
That is a hit.
Ooh,
4.
nice.
And then
16 points of damage.
taking the next, just like phew.
23 is another hit.
Beautiful, 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 gorgeous.
For
sneak
another...
attack, guys, you could be higher than a 1.
Yes. For another 12 points of damage.
We'll try again, even with,
Third map.
Third map, because which is also just rude. No, no, this is not. This doesn't hit. And I
Third
think
map does not hit.
Cal's also just like, oh my god, yeah, it stings. Bad decision. Bad decision.
So, following Cal is sadly going to be our undead. Which fits very perfectly for the fact that Cal was sneaking and everyone else wasn't, but still. As it is no longer off guard, as its first action, it's now realized that it's being attacked from behind. First action it's going to do is move a little bit forward, which means Wind and Yoti are now within the range of the stench.
And
as well
Fox.
as Fox, yes. So I'm gonna need a fortitude save from all three of you. Since it's an aura effect, Cal does not need to roll again because he already rolled this turn. This round.
We are strong.
That is 3 successes across the board.
We do know that especially Fox and Wind have been always stronger at the fortitude saving throws, and I think Yoti also most of the time. So
Yep.
it's just
And I
Paul
just
is like,
stay back.
yeah.
Exactly.
Cal's not that good at fortitude saving throws.
As its second action, because the first one was to move forward, it is going to try to bite Cal's shoulder
So rude.
with a 20 to
Oh,
Oh no.
because of the second.
hit. Because of the second, that's going to be a hit. So the first thing I'm going to do is some damage, which is going to be 15 piercing damage. And the second thing I'm going to do is going to be ask you for a fortitude save twice for 2 different effects.
Yes.
It's a fail
Again,
because of
because
the
the
second.
Second. Come on. That's just funny now.
So,
Against the same fortitude again? Or because you said
different
two of them-
roll. So the first one is a fail. That's 2 different effects, meaning they have 2 different, like, succeeding in one and failing the other would mean you only get one of the effects.
Critical
Let's see.
success on the second
I
one.
can tell you have critically succeeded on the more important one.
That's good.
As you critically succeeded against the paralysis effect of that hit.
Hmm.
It's like,
You
no,
failed
About that.
against gassed fever, which means you are with stage 1. Stage 1 is not giving you any effect at the moment. However, this is a disease condition. And unlike some of the effects of poisons and stuff, diseases stay for a while. This will mean every day every day that you do not treat the gassed fever, you're gonna need to roll to see if you slowly turn into a ghast.
Yeah,
But we
you
can
gave
think
me
about
the
that
plague.
later.
You gave me the
Yeah.
plague. That's okay.
I gave you the
Good
plague.
thing it's not 2020.
Yes. Please write that down to you that you are under the effect of gassed fever stage 1.
Isn't that also a effect?
As a third action, because that was moving and trying to hit, it is going to try to claw you. But that's going to be a 14 to hit, which is not going to hit even someone who is sickened. Which means, wind, that is you.
I think I'll start with hunting prey.
Sounds good?
Then I'll dash into it. And then I try my luck with an overwhelming combination.
Go for it.
That's a 28 and a 22.
Which both hit.
Nice.
For 29 points of damage.
For 29 points of damage, yes.
God, the overwhelming combination does so much.
Yeah,
Our
it's
guy
great.
is still up, but barely.
Yeah, that's it for me.
Which means it is Zora's turn. Nearly done, but not fully dead.
Alright. Since there's quite a few people in front of me, I will try something with a will save, so I don't have to actually attack it. I would need it to please roll a will save for me so I can try to daze it.
Absolutely. Our guy, oof, that is sadly a high roll. That's a 29 on the save.
Alright.
Still half damage.
It's a cantrip, so I don't expect it to do too much.
I'm gonna say it depends on if we round up or down.
Really?
We round down, it is still alive with 1 HP.
Oh,
Dang it. Dang it.
Absolutely.
Though I don't really have anything else, so I'll just apply a nudge fate on Cal, because she has been
Yeah.
off by too many times. So,
Sounds good. After you is gonna be Yoti.
wait, give me 1 second. I just need to check if Starless is in range of the guy. Yes, I can give him -1 AC.
Ah, nice.
Right, because it's the,
Let me...
whenever I cast a hex, I get the Familiar of Balanced Luck. So I can either choose a target to get +1 or someone to get -1 to AC.
Which leads us to Yoti.
I'm just gonna try to strike. Just regular slashing air stuff.
Sounds good. You do have Cal in the way, but Cal is small. I'm gonna say with Cal in the way, it's not too much of a barrier. Unlike Zora that has both you and Fox and Cal, you have just Cal in the way, it should be fine.
Yeah, I just stay on my tiptoes. Oh, I will reroll it with a hero point. I do not like that.
Yep.
That's
Barbie,
already
I think
better.
that was a
Way
2.
more.
2 to
What a
19 is a big
difference.
increase. I like that.
Also, 13 to 30. Absolutely. I have revealed how much HP this creature has, so please tell me. This is a 6-second combat that you basically open the door, Cal moves in, slices, it moves towards you, infects Cal with a disease, which is terrible, but then you guys fully finish it up with combination of things. Yoti, how do you want to do this?
So I'm pretty sure that it's filled with different holes and slashes from the overwhelming combination. So it's just like when air slices at the wounds that were already there, and it just like stops functioning and falls to the ground.
And as many other undead, it is destroyed upon death. And we are out of initiative. But I also think, as you all see, this was the fastest combat you did so far. Not even 6 seconds have passed, basically, as you all acted. But your eyes are all focused, not on the creature that just fell, but on the hand and the shoulder of your friend that has been bitten by it, clearly showing signs that this is not a good thing that she is dealing with. And that's gonna come up later.
It's a disease,
I
though,
think-
right?
It's a disease.
Because I can treat that.
Yes.
Like,
You
I should
be
have
able
a
to
feed
have- Yes.
that specifically targets diseases and such.
You have crystal healing, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Do we still want to do that
Absolutely.
today? Or
It takes like 8 hours, no?
it says in the treat disease skill that this one takes 8 hours.
Yes.
And the crystal healing just says you get to treat disease. So
Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, it is
yeah.
fully
so the poison
possible.
one is fast, but the disease one is slow.
Yeah.
But crystal healing
It
can
is
do
fully
both.
possible, yes. Fully possible for Zora to take 8 hours to treat the disease, but probably not at the moment unless you like find a way to rest here.
I mean, right now, I'm not aghast yet, so I'm fine.
Cal's not feeling anything at the moment. According
No.
to Cal, easy. Just the pain damage and that's it.
It's like nasty.
Just to warn you, like diseases can be very nasty, so we should try to find shelter where we can take a rest and try to treat this before it becomes bad.
Yes. Yes, I mean, you can do your things. But first we gotta, there's a thing that we maybe can open. Maybe there's cool stuff in it. So I think that comes first.
Why am I not surprised that you just got infected with a deadly disease and the first thing you think about is loot?
Hey, I know my friends. I have great friends, amazing, talented, incredible people, like Zora. She knows this stuff better than I do, and I will do the thing she asks me when it becomes more necessary. But right now, we couldn't be taking, I can't just sleep now. So, it's a problem that we put in a box for later.
Okay, I see.
And now we have the non-proper thing of having potential loot.
Yeah. Sounds actually like a very good strategy of just shoving every problem into a big box and forgetting about it.
It's not in a big box. It's in a small box, and we'll take it out once we are somewhere where we can sleep. And then I'm like, yes, sir, you can do your thing. And that's, of course, yes, I'm going to sit now. Yes, I'll drink my tea. Yes, I'll make sure the blanket really covers all of my body. Yes, I'll be actually sleeping for at least 8 hours. Yes, like I'll do it.
Miss Gal, but before that, you're bleeding. And as Yori
The
says that
usual.
she does an ocean bomb to
Sounds
restore 11 damage, 11 HP, which is great.
I mean, I take it.
And I would say a good place to stop would be right after your healing. Actually, before we find some loot.
Suspense.
Suspense of the loot
No.
for next time.
Suspense. Exactly.
Dun, dun, dun. What will we find?
What will you find in the
Edit-
single coffin that is in this single room?
Probably the
No.
real undead.
Write us in the comments what you think.
Ignore the fact that we're releasing this like 3 weeks in difference between recording and
They don't know.
they don't know.
They don't know.
I mean, they might know.
Now
but
they
don't.
know.
Now they know. I mean, I can cut this out.
Unless we cut this
True.
out.
How would
Yeah.
they know? How would they know?
How would they
I don't know what you're talking about. I never mentioned anything about, time differences.
What is
And
time,
they can
anyways?
still-
Who are viewers?
everyone
Time
can
is
still
illusion.
speculate.
Yes.
So
The fun part is you will get to speculate what's inside the coffin.
no, that's a terrible thing that we have to speculate as well. I think only our listeners should speculate,
Okay.
and we should know. But that's
Actually, let's do it
Hmm.
this way. I'm gonna post this
No.
episode, and I'm gonna wait to see what the comments are and find out which one is the favorite one, and I'm gonna make that happen.
I don't like that.
Someone was just gonna be like, "Just give them beer." Like, that's funny. Yeah.
no
But if we keep this in now, then there'll be like
Fossilized
crazy
poop.
suggestions now.
fossilized poop.
It needs to be an actual item that exists in Pathfinder, otherwise I can't pull it into the game.
There might be
I
poop in
can make-
Pathfinder. There's a lot of items in Pathfinder.
Just search
I-
the word poop.
I am doing that right now.
loud, the mic will hear you.
That was very cute, though. I heard a little meow.
Yeah. You say a little. I heard it through my noise cancelling headphones. But
For
well,
me, it's a little. Yes.
we gotta loot stuff next time.
Yeah. Loot. Figure out some things.
Hopefully not become a ghast.
Not become a ghast. Top priority, actually.
After the loot.
No, I
After
think
the loot,
I'm
of
pretty
course.
sure the loot is the top priority,
Yes.
not the other way
yeah.
around.
Naturally
killing
said, loot
hags.
comes first. Then you have maybe killing hags. Then not becoming a ghast.
Yes.
But
Because
like, loot.
ghast is it's more like, is it important or urgent, or which of the four quadrants is it in? And it's
Important?
definitely
yes.
important.
Urgent?
Nah. And so loot is both in the important and urgent category, same as hags.
Yes, because
So-
the loot
Yes.
will run away if we don't snatch it immediately.
I mean, somebody
true.
else might take it.
Yes, because
We
yeah,
might.
sure.
Maybe the house
Do-
will crumble down after we kill the hags, and then we
Exactly.
can't have it anymore. So
that sounds
yes,
super reasonable.
it is actually.
I mean, do you have
super
evidence
urgent.
that none of your loot don't have legs and it can just run away? No.
Yeah, fair
See?
enough.
Opens
I
up
guess
a
I'm
can
wrong.
of worms right now, Charlie. Because I have a
Loot in
mask.
Pathfinder is just Toy Story, but you know.
I have a mask that has legs and can in fact run away.
What the heck do you have? What?
It's a skittering mask.
Yeah.
What?
Oh,
Skittering
yeah.
mask. I know that. It's very fun.
It's very funny. Basically,
Why is
if
that a
you're
thing?
dying,
Also the walking cauldron.
I love the
that
walking
one's-
cauldron
Yeah, that one makes more sense. But like, why a mask?
because it's funnier.
it's
with
funnier.
lenses
There's
in
Fair.
your
a,
face.
a bunch of bugs inside my mask. A bunch of friends who carry me away from danger.
Perfect.
It's
I love it.
Wait.
they went really
Yeah.
creative in Pathfinder 2e, and
Oh,
this
yeah.
is, dear listeners, why you should also try out Pathfinder 2e and play it.
We have
Why
Pathfinder
bugs.
does that
is-
sound like a threat?
You should. I
You
will
should.
figure out where you live otherwise.
For legal reasons,
know.
no, we will not.
Too many
Thanks for
disclaimers
the
this
disclaimer.
episode. Yeah.
Unless you have loot.
Unless you have loot. Just don't have loot.
Just be poor.
Isn't it what you
That's-
all experience? No, I'm kidding. It's the world of capitalism. Anyway, thank you very much for playing today. Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining.
Thank you
And
for playing.
we're gonna see you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're gonna see you everyone next time as we find out what the loot is, which is, as we said, the highest priority. But B, continue walking around and seeing what else can you find in this place. More loot, probably.
And enemies.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you for listening.
See you guys next time. Yeah.
See you.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.
Of Dice and Dinner uses trademarks and or copyrights owned by Paizo Inc., used under Paizo's fan content policy. That's paizo.com/licenses/fan content. Of Dice and Dinner is not published, endorsed, or specifically approved by Paizo. For more information about Paizo Inc. and Paizo products, please visit paizo.com. Content in the short adventures played by Of Dice and Dinner are not canon, nor were they endorsed or approved by Paizo. If you would like to reach out to us in social media, you can find us in Blue Sky with Of Dice and Dinner Blue Sky, or in our email address, ofdiceanddinnerpodcast@gmail.com.